The movie Bad Genius is an American adaptation of the 2017 Thai hit of the same name, which took Asian cinema by storm, becoming the most successful Thai film of all time. But here's the thing. Despite the new version mirroring nearly every detail from the original, from dialogue to visual techniques, it somehow manages to be mediocre. How did that happen? Let's break down exactly where this American remake falls short compared to its Eastern predecessor. Starting with the plot. At the center of the story is Lin, played by Kalina Leong, a brilliant student with a tough background. Her father, played by Benedict Wong, a widower, runs a modest laundry business supporting their small family. Lin doesn't have money, but her exceptional academic skills earn her a scholarship to a prestigious school in Seattle. At this school, she meets Grace Taylor Hickson, a rich girl who pulls her into the world of the privileged elite, where it turns out you can not only spend money recklessly, but also cheat on exams. From this moment, Lynn starts helping her new friends by feeding them the correct answers during tests, and soon the whole school is turning to her for assistance. What makes the plot interesting? From the beginning, we see a contrast between two worlds, poverty and wealth, honesty and deception. Lynn lives in a world where every step she takes depends on how well she performs in school and how many points she scores on exams. She's trying not to let down her father, who literally lives for her, but at the same time, she's drawn to another world where money seems to solve everything and intelligence can be easily monetized. An intriguing subplot involves another scholarship student, Jabari Banks, with whom Lynn has a subtle rivalry. He's the typical good boy who tries to play by the rules, but against the backdrop of Lynn's increasingly unscrupulous actions, he almost starts to seem like an anti-hero. The biggest problem with the remake is the characters, and primarily Lynn herself. In the original Thai film, she truly came across as a brilliant strategist who calculated her every move. But here, she fits more into the mold of the quiet, smart girl stereotype. Kalina Leong, despite her best efforts, fails to capture the layered complexity of Lynn's character. At the beginning of the film, she comes off as a simple, naive girl who gets swept up into a scheme by chance. And this naivety feels a bit forced. After all, later we see her effortlessly pulling off complex exam cheating schemes. You can't help but wonder, where's the turning point where she stops being the good girl and becomes a cunning manipulator? The movie doesn't give a clear answer to this, making the character unconvincing. This is where the difference from the original starts to show. In the Thai version, Lynn is portrayed from the start as intelligent and insightful. We see how she plans and makes decisions, creating an interesting contrast between her moral dilemma and her intellect. In the American version, all of this is blurred. As for the supporting characters, Grace's boyfriend, and Bank, they unfortunately come across as rather one-dimensional. Pat predictably serves as the villain, but his motivations are underdeveloped. He's just the guy with bad intentions, and by the end of the movie, you'll have forgotten about him. Grace also ends up feeling like a typical rich girl who secretly relies on Lynn's brains. She's intriguing in the beginning when she pulls Lynn into her world, but then she fades into the background. However, Benedict Wong's performance as Lynn's father deserves praise. His character feels like a real father, doing everything he can for his daughter, and his love and support come through in every line. He brings a genuine warmth to the film, and his scenes are some of the most heartfelt. Visually, the film looks pretty basic, even dull. The screenwriters and directors seem to have tried to maintain the same tense atmosphere as the original, but whether due to a limited budget or poor cinematographic choices, many scenes come across as flat. For example, the exam scenes, which in the Thai version were like intellectual battles, here feel almost like a comedy. There's an attempt to build tension, but it looks like the students are simply having fun cheating. Where are those subtle moments when you feel the ticking clock and that the characters' futures hang by a thread? Sadly, that's missing here. As for the music, it's pretty forgettable. It works as background noise, but doesn't add tension or emotion to the scenes the way it did in the original. One of the main reasons why remakes rarely surpass the original is the challenge of translating cultural contexts. The Thai film Bad Genius, 2017, was steeped in its culture and social realities. It depicted Thailand's education system, issues of class disparity, and the pressure students face in Asian countries. The American version tries to convey some of these ideas, but many get lost in translation to American society. For instance, in the original, the characters felt a real sense of danger from their cheating schemes. Not only could they lose their future opportunities, but they also faced serious consequences from authorities. In the American version, that sense of urgency is diluted. The characters still risk their careers and reputations, but it doesn't feel quite as critical. Another key difference is the social and cultural layers. The Thai version, besides having an interesting plot, touched on important themes such as student pressure, corruption in the education system, and social inequality. In the American film, these themes seem watered down, with more focus placed on the characters' adventures and tricks rather than on social critique. So, is Bad Genius 2024 worth watching? If you haven't seen the original, this film might seem pretty engaging. It has a few exciting moments, and the plot revolving around exam cheating is unusual for Western cinema. But if you're familiar with the Thai original, the remake will likely leave you disappointed. The main problem with the American version is its lack of soul. The original was filled with sincerity and tension, whereas the remake feels like just a commercial product trying to copy the original success, but without much effort. It's not the worst remake in cinema history, but it's far from the best. As one of the characters in the movie says, honesty doesn't always help you in life, but cunning can open doors. Well, the creators of this remake clearly didn't have enough cunning.